I told you for the last two times I saw you on the air that I was going to be sharing with you my experience this last recent travel over a month ago and return from Israel, and what the Father showed me, and the burden and the hurt and the cry in my lab. The people of Yehuda, the big brother Yehuda, Ephraim, and all the house that are scattered and regathered and don't even know who they are, and they're operating under the assimilation of not all are into the rabbinical Talmud oral, but many of them are been assimilated into the tribe of Yehuda, Yehudim, and all the pagan things that were there and going out in there in Israel. And they all got to come down. They all got to come down, and we are going to be doing this in season. The Father's going to help us to tear down the strongholds of the mighty ones of the enemy. And we're going to blow that shofar in Zion. And we're going to go to the ancient roots and the ancient paths of understanding. And we're going to worship the true Yahuwah, Elohim of Yesharel. And we want to come into your home and bring the understanding that today, if you tuned in because somebody sent you a clip of this, somebody sent it to you through YouTube or sent it to you through the internet or through one of our videos, some way they got a hold of it, you're going to have to make a decision which pill you're going to take, the red one or the greenish blue one. Which one are you going to take? Are you going to stay in La La Land, the Alice in Wonderland? You're going to stay in that same religious spirit bondage, or are you going to break out? Are you finally going to research and seek out to know the truth of the true names and the true words? Should we really say them? Should we not? I challenge you. Take up the Eliyahu challenge. When he came against the prophets of the Lord, because it's both the same word, Lord and Baal, are the same pagan word. And we cast down those words and imagination from our lips. And we speak only of the true word of Yahuwah, learning Hebrew and the proper language, even clean Greek. So we want to start now, because he's coming for a bride without spot and blemish. He's coming for a bride that knows his name. That's right. It's sad when a bride don't know her husband's name. No, just knows nicknames, or what the fellas down at the mechanic shop call him. You know what I mean? So we're going to know the true names of Yahuwah and Yahushua, the anointed one of Israel, the proclaimer and declarer of Yahuwah throughout the Brit Kadasha. And which pill are you going to take? Which one are you going to take? To a full understanding and get the Torah and the Tanakh and Brit Kadasha covenant that he has made for us to come closer to him and be wedded to him. If you are not already a part of the house of Israel, grafted in, that you can come in and be grafted in. Or if you're already part of the bloodline and come to the true understanding of his true Shem, Yahuwah. Okay, so now we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead. The title of this message is to come out into the ancient paths and to come to understanding really the reality of what time we're living in. With CERN going in full operation and cranking up to open a porthole, a gateway of demonic spirits, manifestations of so-called angelic beings. And it's not angelic. Angelico, angel, is actually a Catholic, it's a Latin word and a Greek word, depending on Roman Greco, of their description of the two-winged Greek deities or principalities or fallen ones. Throughout the Torah and Tanakh and Brit Kadasha, all messengers, all the malachims, they didn't even know that, they didn't even recognize them. They didn't see no wings, and they would blend in among them, eat among them, and then they realized they had a glow and a brilliance about them that was different, of purity and cleanness. But I believe they come in all complexions and colors and skins. alike to blend in amongst us. You don't know when you're entertaining a malak of Yahuwah. If it's your time of visitation, we are in a time of visitation, definitely, and the things I'm going to show you, what's going on in Israel, and of course we already know in the United States that all these things are happening here already, and Christianity has embraced it as norm because they don't know the real words. They just accepted the words and never researched each word coming out of their mouth. So we want to research everything and get into the original roots, past the Latin, past the Greek, past the Hellenic Greek, and deep into the root of Hebraic understanding, the Ivrit language, and even past Aramaic Hebrew to the what we call the original Paleo-Ivrit language, okay, in words and phonetic sounds. Can it be done? Yes, it can be done. If Israel can start up in 1917 and officially in 1922 start to have all the education in schools to teach people Hebrew of the Aramaic Hebrew of today with lots of dots and tittles and cover words, we could correct ourselves to the other Kodesh ones. Islam, no matter if they read the red, the blue, or the green Quran, all Muslims learn their form of Aramaic language to read the Quran. They prefer it that way. In Yehudi tradition, we do the same. We want people to learn to read the Torah. They have their bar mitzvah and they're reading, but most of them memorize it, but they don't continue to follow up and read and learn to read the book in total Hebrew. What we're going to do is we're going to share some scriptures, and then I'm going to share some pictures because I want you to midrash on it, and I really provoke you to good works, to research and study yourself, okay? Because we mean to make a decision. Which are we going to continue to stay in that little cube of a machine that the enemy has put us in to chase after all the things of the society of this day, and he sucks all our energy and takes it from us? Or you're going to come out, you're going to get flushed out of that system, and you're going to start off, I come in the world naked, I shall leave naked. Baruch is he that comes in the Shem of Yahuwah. Baruch is he who calls on the Shem of Yahuwah. You came in naked, you're going to leave naked. You can start it now, but with a rebirth, we call the mikvah tevilah, and come out rakatz, clean, washed clean. But we have to destroy these things in our mind, casting down the imaginations of every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of Yahuwah, and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience, and destroy them in the high places of our mind, then destroy them from our lips, and eventually we're going to start destroying them from physically, which we will eventually start destroying them physically, because we already taken them out of the congregation. Many people have come out of the Christian community and got rid of the pagan Asher trees and all the decorations and the Easter bunnies and eggs and all the ancient Egypt Babylon stuff. And that's only the beginning of removing and destroying these things. I really want you to come to this understanding in Revelation as we read it. I'm going to read it from the ISR. It's written in Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. And Yahuwah, your Elohim, they say Elohim, but Elohim, brings you into the land which you go to possess. He shall also clear away many Goy, or nations, or ethnic races before you. The Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, there are a lot of parasites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and 7 nations greater and mightier than you. Verse 2. And when Yahuwah, your Elohim, gives them over to you, you shall smite them and put them under the ban completely, and make no covenant with them and show them no favor. So you don't make a covenant with them. And do not intermarry with them. You do not give your daughter to his son, your bat to your ben, and you do not take his daughter bat for your son Ben, for he turns your sons away from following me. And there's a perfect example of what happened to Shalomo. To serve other mighty ones. Then the displeasure of Yahuwah shall burn against you and promptly destroy you. This is what you do to them. Break down their altars. Smash their pillars. Cut down their asherim and burn their carved images with fire. So some are stone, some are made of wood, and I'm going to show you some wooden ones in the Israel Museum, what I should have been destroyed and never seen in the museum. And in the name of art. And this is what you get the word grove. If you were going to the internet, this is another, I'm not doing it, but you do it yourself. You go look up the word grove and look at all the different cities, towns, locations, and parks, and apartment complexes, and recreation areas that are called grove. The word grove and the word asherim are one of the same. These are gardens that are beautified for sexual immorality and worship. And we don't know when the Parks and Recreation close these buildings down, or they have special close down time in order, like they do in Los Angeles, where you got Griffith Park, which is a grove, or Garden Grove County in Anaheim. Los Angeles has its own county. You don't know what happens on certain days and time when they close it down and people go there and they do their Babylon secret society Mason Illuminati rituals. Okay, you don't know what's going on unless you take a camera and start looking. And I advise you to start looking. Whenever there's a grove, keep your eyes out what's coming and going. And it's just not Parks and Recreation. See what's going on. When they close it, sneak in there with a camera and look around, see if there's anything going on, because the word grove is, even in the English dictionary, it is the pagan place of sexual immorality, worship of whatever deity you want to put there. Okay? And verse 6, for you are kodeshim, or set apart to Yahuwah your Elohim. Yahuwah your Elohim has chosen you to be a people for himself, a treasure possession above all the people of the face of the earth. So we have to be peculiar, different. We look different, we dress different. The women wear their makeup in moderation different. They wear their clothes different. We wear our clothes different. So we want to be an example that people say, who are you? What are you? Why you look different than us? Why you don't put fingernail polish on your hand, men, pastors or evangelists, or whatever you want to call yourself. Why you don't shave your eyebrows? Why you don't, when men start doing what women doing, you know there's something in the woodwork, even in their nature of spirit. And so, or the certain clothing. And for us as Yehudim, our favor is cotton, wool, and linen, to the best of our ability as we can. We don't know what they're doing in clothes. They say 100% cotton, but can the cotton come from India that's been contaminated with GMO? Then you put it on your body, or you got polyester or polyurethane, some type of petroleum, and it gives you these rashes or whatever. But you could go and do that research yourself. So we're different people. We're peculiar people. We're different. And we're supposed to be operating different. In verse 7, Yahuwah did not set his love on you, nor chose you because you were more numerous than any other people, for you were the least of all the people. And in the United States, there's a few of the house of Yahuwah, of the followers of Yah, of the Nasorayim, the Nazirs. But because of Yahuwah loving you, and because of him guarding the oath which he has swore to your fathers, Yahuwah has brought you out with a strong hand and redeemed you from the house of bondage, from the hand of Pharaoh, sovereign of Misraim, which is in the administration in this country too. And verse 9, and you shall know that Yahuwah your Elohim, he is the mighty one, the trustworthy mighty one, guarding covenant and kindness for 1,000 generations with those who love him and those who guard his commands. And commandments means the prescribed instructions. People go into the pharmacy and you listen to those doctors. They don't know who those doctors are, what they're about. And they give them a prescribed instruction and they obey it to the T. But when it comes to Yahuwah and the Torah and the Tanakh, of Brikadasha, they don't follow to the T of prescribed instructions. And he says unto 1,000 generations. It just keeps going on. It's got an S here. So it's thousands and thousands of many generations. All our generations till he returns. He guards his covenant with us. And we guard his covenant with him. But repay to those who hate him to their face, to destroy them. He does not delay to do so with him who hates him. He repays him to his face. So he's going to repay for everything that's going on. And the people that are coming out of the Christian community, and we're changing our words and renewing our minds, casting the high things, the high deities out of our minds, the high places of our head, and out of our heart, and out of our lips. And the ones that continue, that know the truth. I'm not talking about the ones that are ignorant, like we were before we come to the knowledge of the truth. We're babies speaking God-gott-godd, coming out now. Some of us are starting to speak the language. Some of us are learning, and we're correcting, guarding our tongue, guarding our mind, guarding our lips. Matter of fact, my prayer, I don't even have to pray the prayer anymore, but in the beginning few years, I prayed all the time in the morning before I leave the door to guard my tongue and lips, but start in my mind first, that before the words come to my thought in my tongue, I rebuke it, translate it, correct it, that I'll speak clean words. You don't have to say the God is grace. All you have to do is just say unmerited favor. People still understand you, even if you're witnessing to the Christian community. You don't have to say the pagan deity mercy. And I'm doing this to describe you, to let you know they're pagan. And you get my pamphlet, or you go on my other videos on HaRuachEliyahu channel. I have one for every single topic, every pagan deity. I'm still adding more, but I got most of them in there. Okay? You don't have to say it. You can just say his compassion and pity. Because that's what it is. Some people don't like that word pity. Well, he had pity on us. He had compassion on us. We had unmerited favor in order to the veil to come off. That through the anointing of the anointed one of Israel, Yahushua, that we can get Yeshua through Yahuwah. And the blood, if there's no shedding of blood, there's no forgiveness of sins. Our forgiveness of sins comes through the shedding of blood. Okay? And we ask confession. We confess with our mouth and we ask forgiveness. All right, so we're going to stop there. And we're going to go to Exodus chapter 23:13. And in all that I have said to you, take heed and make no mention of the name of other mighty ones. Let it not be heard from your mouth. Of course, in the King Amos or other tribes, they say G-O-D. They always say G-O-D. But it's really El, or mighty ones, foreign mighty ones. Yahushua is the mighty one of Israel. Yahuwah is the mighty one of Israel. He's the Elohim of Israel. Okay, so it means mighty ones. But you need to get that G-O-D out of your mouth, because the people are going to call on G-O-D. I've seen Muslims, even when things hit the fan and get to, when I was a chaplain, and I've seen the riots, that even Muslims would call, oh, G-O-D, help me. I said, whoa. Later on, I asked them, I said, how come you didn't call on your particular mighty one of your book? Why did you use the German mighty one, the Gabriel, the fallen one that demands innocent blood of babies and people on the streets of murder and violence? Why are you using the God, the mighty one of the Great Britain and Germany, and also the ancient one of the Canaanites? And they don't even know. And Christians are the same way in the Christian community. And even the people of the Messianic Hebrew roots are still using the pagan words, the L-O-R-D and G-O-Ds. They're speaking the name of other mighty ones. G-O-D is not a title. L-O-R-D is not a title. These are names of other mighty ones. I'm doing it right now with you in the video stream, because I want you to be aware of what I'm saying, instead of just spelling it out like some of my friends do. But it is spoken out. It is spelt out even in the battle of Eliyahu against the prophets of Baal, and Yahuwah went against Baal, and he even mocked Baal. Okay, so you can use it to mock it, to put it down. We're not calling on him as our mighty one. We only have one mighty one of Israel. Okay? So, the name of other mighty ones. Of course, they put the G-O-D, and everybody says use the G-O-D, and they have no idea what they're doing. But you are aware now. If you're watching this video, there is no excuse. The veil of ignorance and innocence is over. The age of accountability steps into you now, whatever age you are. Let it not be heard from your mouth. Let it not be heard from your mouth. Let it not be heard from your mouth. This right here is on your dollar bill, Americans. You believers, you got it in your pocket. In G-O-D we trust. The mighty, go to my video about the G-O-D. I got a video of it. 20, 30 minute one. Go ahead and check it out. I'm just giving you a brief look. If you go to Europe, you would see this. You would see this. The euro dollar, the euro, same thing. They got the harlot sitting on the beast. They have their mighty one for their particular belief, or part of a fraternity lodge that serves the G-O-D they trust. You need to renounce those fraternity lodges. You need to come out of the pastors that are joining these rings of this pagan stuff. You need to make a fraternity once and for all covenant with Yahuwah, the Elohim of Israel, not this stuff. Not the G-O-D guy. Come on now. This is in the book of Isaiah 65:11. The good. They pronounce it as Gad. It's not the same phonetic sound. You go to Blue Letter Bible and look at the phonetic sound attachments. It's not the same sound as the tribe of Gad. This is the deity. The Babylon deity of fortune. Money and fortune. The wonder our money has the phrase in G-O-D we trust. I don't trust in that G-O-D. Do you? Do you trust in G-O-D? But you are they that forsake Yahuwah, that forgot my Kodesh mountain, that prepare a table for Gad, the deity that we saw in Isaiah. 1408, a variation of 1409, fortune, Babylon deity, that troop. Gut. That's German. That's the same word you get God, but with a U with a phonetic sound high. In the sense of distributing fortune, printing money without gold. It's all over the world. All these countries are doing it. They're putting their mighty one, and it's all, and they're telling you, announcing the new order, Novus Ora Seculium, Anut Asoptis, the new world order, announcing it. And you're calling on it. Are you calling on this G-O-D mighty one? God-gott-godd, you're calling on the one that tempted Eve in the garden. Because God-gott-godd has done this. Tempted Eve in the garden. It's the same one. It's the third or fourth fallen one. The reptilian. Which are you doing today? Let's look at chapter 34 as well. For you do not bow yourself to another mighty one. For Yahuwah, whose name is jealous, is a jealous El, or Elohim, or mighty one. Now look up a little higher here. Guard what I command you today. I am driving out from before you the Amorite, the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, and the Hivite, the Jebusite. Guard yourself, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where you are going, lest it be a snare to in your midst. Break down their altars and smash their pillars and cut down their Asherim. Repeats itself like we were looking at in Deuteronomy 7. For you do not bow yourself to another mighty one. Not the G-O-D we're talking about. We're talking about no other mighty one. For Yahuwah, whose name is jealous, lest you make a covenant. So repeat, exactly like Deuteronomy. There's more than 2 or 3 witnesses. There's tens and 20 witnesses when it comes to the Torah and the Tanakh and Brit Kadasha concerning this, what we have to be guarding. And look at what it says here at the end of the mighty ones, that one of them invites you and you eat with his slaughterings. You know, people go, we used to do it too in the Christian community. We weren't aware of it till we became aware of it. They go into a restaurant. We've gone into a restaurant that was Mexican and we had no idea. There was Aztec, pagan idols everywhere. It was Aztec worshipers. The people were into Santerism. They were into a Spanish form of Satanism with the Aztecs. And then we've gone into Asian restaurants. They got Buddha, they got Hindu stuff, and they have food sacrificed at the altar. When you first walk in, they let you know who they worship and who they're going to give their tithes and offerings for, the money you're going to give them for eating their food in their house. And you're going to go ahead and eat food sacrificed to these idols. It's all around us in America. Everywhere you go into a city, welcome into, and they got their information, and they got the porthole gateways of their city. The CERN is open to porthole gateway from the spirit realm of another dimension to bring wickedness into this nation, into the world, and everybody's paying tithes to it. Even Israel's paying into CERN, the United States, every country that's got a little money in the UN is putting into CERN to open the portholes and let the mighty one of the past come in and rule. Undercover, in your face, open, wide eyes open, just demonstrating evil. Okay? And it's been already, nobody's tearing down, nobody's destroying it. Nobody's, ISIS is the only one. I'm going to show you pictures of that. They're the only ones destroying pagan idols, and I'm against them. But it amazes me how much that the believers are not really bold. They're not even against the Christian community against abortion, which is the blood sacrifice ritual for babies' blood. And the baby blood goes into a company which is taken from a laboratory and scattered for different corporations of different labs, but also into blood rituals and burnt offerings to the mighty one, G-O-D. Yeah, your G-O-D. You call your G-O-D God, good, in Enoch 69:6, or in Isaiah, which I'm going to show you. You're going to realize that when you say that word, you're a part of it. That's why the Christian community don't go against abortions. That's why you don't see your reverend, doctor, apostle, pastor, bishop with his $3,000 suit and his beamer going up and protesting, blocking the road with his beamer, letting that be a sacrifice, and then go to jail for it. Put that on him, notches of in his belt to defend babies from sacrifice to the G-O-D, because they're calling on the G-O-D. And we're going to read verse 1 starting. These are the right rulings, or the Torah and right rulings which you guard to do in the land which Yahuwah Elohim of your fathers is giving you to possess all the days of that you live in the soil. Completely destroy all the places where the nations which you are dispossessing serve their mighty ones. Completely destroy it. Even take the dirt and throw it in the water and the sea that it stood on. They do that in real estate when they find a body. They do that when they remove cemeteries. They go 7 to 10 feet down and bring new dirt in order to do real estate all over on the same land that used to be a cemetery. But yet when it comes to the pagan idols they find, they just, nada, it's nothing. No big deal. It says, completely destroy all the places where the nations which you are dispossessing serve their mighty ones, on the high mountains and on the hills and under every green tree. That's right, those green Christmas trees with those little balls they put with little gold and silver little linings. Okay? And you shall break down their altars and smash their pillars and burn their Asherim groves with fire. And you shall cut down the carved images of their mighty ones and shall destroy their names out of the place. And shall cut down the carved images of their mighty ones and shall destroy their names. Even the name of these false mighty ones should be destroyed off the face of the earth. And out of that place, the names of the Goy deities, mighty ones. Do not do so to Yahuwah your Elohim. In other words, you don't destroy the places of Yahuwah Elohim where he puts his name. You don't do so. Only do it to the pagan deities. But seek the place which Yahuwah your Elohim chooses out of all your tribes to put his name there for his dwelling place, and there you shall enter. They are taking the blood of aborted cells of babies and cursing it and using it for sweeteners and doing it for food. And all these companies, you go online, I'm not going to go look it up, catch up a Campbell soup. You go online on all of them and look at it. The sodas, they're losing the battle in the soda department, but they're still doing it, slipping it in and changing the wording, which comes from cursed blood cells of aborted babies. What are they doing with the body parts? What are they doing with the other parts? In the labs, they put it in, shoot it in your children. So you're eating the blood against the Jerusalem decree of Acts chapter 15. Come on, Christians, that's in your book too. It's in the Brit Kadasha about the Jerusalem decree. But nobody's looking at that in chapter 15. No pastors are preaching it. Okay, that you got to read Torah every Shabbat and don't eat the blood, don't drink, and don't do this and don't do that, and don't commit adultery, and don't have idol worship. And then they turn around and put all these stone messengers that they call angels, angelicals with 2 wings, little baby cute ones, all around the garden, the decoration in the buildings, and outside the building. They take them home and they start doing it too, and they're bringing idol worship. Messengers don't look like no little naked Greek falcon baby with 2 little cute wings, the Valentine's Day. Yeah, right. Do not do so as we are doing here today. Each one doing whatever's right in their own eyes. And that's what Christianity is doing, and other religions, and even the house of Yehuda doing the same, doing whatever's right in their own synagogue. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, in whom the mighty one, verse 4, in whom the mighty one of this age has blinded the minds of the unbelieving, so that the enlightening of the Bezorah, good news, or should I say Bezorah, glad tidings, of the esteem of the anointed one, Messiah, who is the likeness of the mighty one of Israel, Elohim, does not shine on them. And he gives you a reference in Luke 4:6. For we do not proclaim ourselves, but Yahushua Mashiach, our mighty one, our controller of ourselves, your servants, and for the sake of Yahushua. Now let's back up. The mighty one of this age has blinded the mind of the unbelieving. So if you're a Christian and you've been tuned in, or somebody gave you this thing and they're trying to share with you to clean up your act and your mind, the high place, casting down every high thing in your mind. And then from the mind to the heart, the lob, and then to your lips, and purging yourself and cleaning your act. You won't say the word S-H-I-T, but there's not a curse word. It's only developed in late 1800, early 1900 for shipping high in transit. You won't say F-U-C-K, oh, that's a cuss word, but it really means fornicating under carnal knowledge, and it was the penal code of arrest in Great Britain in 1800. Those words are not really cuss words. But out of respect, we don't say it. But yet, you'll continue to say G-O-D. You'll continue to say L-O-R-D. Because you are unbelieving. That's what it says here. In whom the mighty one of this age has blinded the minds of the unbelieving. You can be sitting in a Christian church or Messianic congregation or even in a Yehudim Jewish synagogue. And you are unbelieving to the truth that G-O-D, what it really is and the history of it. Because your rabbis or pastors or teachers are not telling you to stop calling on the name of other mighty ones. He's coming for a bride without spot and blemish that knows the Son's name. And how could you get the enlightenment of the Bezorah and of the esteem of the Mashiach if you're still unbelieving and calling on other mighty ones? Can't do that. It's not going to work. Look at the Aleph of Yahu Kanan, 1 John chapter 2. My little children, I write this to you so that you do not sin. And if anyone sins, we have an intercessor with the Father, Yahushua, the anointed one, a righteous one. And he himself is the atoning offering for our sins, and not for ours only, but also for the world. And by this we know that we know him if we guard his what? Verse 3, guard his commands. There's also a footnote in 3:6. People don't like to read the epistles or the letters of Yahuwah because he's really into guarding the prescribed instruction called commandments and the right ruling called Torah, instructions. The one who says, I know him, and does not guard his commands is a liar, and the truth is not in him. Flat out, man. You're going to guard his prescribed instruction? But whosoever guards his word, truly the love of Elohim has been perfected in him. But this we know, that we are in him, and it shows you how you know you're in him. By the HaRuachEliyahu, it's not by this Holy Spirit from the Catholic Church. It's a different stranger. The whole world lies in wickedness. The whole world is lying in wickedness. Yahuwah, chapter 3, verse 4. Everyone doing sin does also lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. And you know that he was manifest to take away our sins, and in him there is no sin. Everyone staying in him does not sin. Everyone sins has neither seen him nor known him. Everyone sinning has neither seen him nor known him. You know, people don't like to read that one, don't they? About being lawless. They are against the commandments. All forms of law. Even the Big Ten, they call it. Oh, you're really lawless. So then you go ahead and you be lawless, but we're going to be what we call legalists. Yeah, we're legalists, all right. We're legalists to the letter and the T of every single good instruction that our chief physician has given to us. Now go to chapter 27 of Deuteronomy, verse 15. Cursed is the man who makes a carved and molded image, either carved by wood or clay, or stone, or molded image in a mold. An abomination to Yahuwah, the work of the hands of the craftsman, and sets it up in secret. And all the people shall answer and say, Amen. Let's go to Yirmiyahu, chapter 6. And they were not ashamed that they had done abomination. No, they were not at all ashamed, nor did they know how to blush. Therefore they shall fall among those who fall. They shall stumble at the time of the visit them, said Yahuwah. Every person, every city, every town, every nation has a time of visitation. The Father decides to let something else roll up on it and take it over. Verse 6. Thus says he, stand in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths. Oh, the ancient gates, where the good way is, and walk in it, and find rest for yourselves. But they said, we do not walk in it. I got a few more minutes here. I want to show you the pictures. And I raised up a watchman over you. And I said, listen to the sound of the ram's horn. But they said, no, we do not listen. Therefore hear, you nations, and know, O congregation, what is upon you. Hear, O earth, see, I am bringing evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not listened to my words, nor my Torah, the right instructions, and they rejected it. Were they ashamed when they had done abominations? No, they were not at all ashamed, nor did they know how to blush. They forgot how to blush. They seared their soul with a hot iron so much they don't even know how to blush. No, they've lied behind the pulpit so much, or Torah classes teaching. It's not just the Christian community, it's also the Messianic movement that know the truth. Hebrew roots and others, the rabbinical, that have crept into the different associations and are dominating on the pyramid on top, and they don't even know, and let the people know on the bottom. They don't even go to the mission statement and see. They're part of the rabbinical Talmud oral. The very thing the Messiah, the anointed one of Israel, was against, Yahushua. So they shall fall among those who fall. Twice it's saying here in these two scriptures I'm sharing, they're going to fall because of what they're doing with the pagan idols and worship and all the things they're doing. They don't want to keep Torah. They shall fall among those who fall. They shall stumble in the time of their what? Visitation. And this is the condemnation. This is what's going on in the United States, even in Israel, what I'm going to show you now. They built the high places. The last verse chapter 32 of Etymologist Jeremiah. They have built the high places over again. It's been in the United States already. It's been in other countries, even in Islam. They don't even realize it. They're blinded into their own type of truth. They're blinded to it because of what the secret societies have done and infiltrated the religions of the world and controlled the masses. And in Israel, it's the same thing. I call the house of Yehuda on check, that the house of Yehudim, they want to assimilate everybody to Rabbinical Judaism, that they would look around and see the sin that's come in through the Zionist movement and come in through all the stuff that's going on in Israel today. They would see it and they would repent. And they built the high places of Baal, L-O-R-D, that's the same guy, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to offer up their sons and their daughters to Moloch, which I did not command them, nor did it come into my heart that they should do the abominations to make Yehuda to sin. Israel's allowing abortion too. They don't want to. The religious groups are coming in and trying to rescue and abort and abort the abortion clinics and destroy them and all that. They're putting a little more effort. They take the money and they get the babies and they put them in schools and raise them up in good homes, the people who don't have children, and they adopt them and raise up the house of Israel up. But in the United States, no way the United States and American Christianity is doing this. They're aborting their babies. The pastors are not preaching against it. They're afraid because of their 501c3 might be taken away in their big temples of burning false innocence. Verse 36, and now thus said Yahuwah, Allahim of Yesharel, concerning the city of which you say, it shall be given unto the hand of the sovereigns of Babel by the sword and by scarcity of food and pestilence. This is the word that's going out against the United States. This is the word that's going out against Israel even today, if they continue to allow this stuff to go up into their high places in their homes and their cities. Every time I go to Israel, it's becoming more and more contaminated with pollution. They're tolerating and contaminated. And I can lock arms with a Yehudim, rabbinical, ultra-Orthodox guy and march against the sin with the same heart. But they're allowing it themselves. People get money. They get checks. And they're allowing it. They're not marching against it. There's some rabbinical Orthodox. There's some house of Israel. There's some of the Ephraim Benai Yoshef that are coming against it. But they're not big enough in numbers to come against it. When you put stuff in the high, what we just read, if you put stuff in the high place, what you are doing, you are bringing damnation, abomination to Zion. And I pray that this video, when I edit it and I put it out in different forms, that our brother, big brother Judah, is supposed to be the Torah keepers, would see this, and even the Messianics and the Christians, that they would understand this stuff is in your houses through cards. This stuff is in your garden through little winged, naked little angels and all this stuff. This is paganism to the biggest. And you're bringing it to your soil, into your camp. I want to remind you that I'm going to continue to share this. You can go to eagleshavenministry.com. You can email me through there, or go to eagleshavenministry@yahoo.com, and I'll put a little picture in the future. You can put it in front like Eagles Haven Ministry Chuck does in front of his stream. And I just want to show you this, that you can email me a note, say you would like the pamphlet of the correction of the replacement theology words that have been falsely inputted and transliterated into the King Irish translation, which has been offshooted to every single one, but it also comes from the Luther translation Geneva, as well as the Catholic Latin Vulgate, any of these words. And so you can have this beautiful brochure. Write me, send it to you for free. And if you ask for my wife's music videos or worship songs. You can go live on stream and record and download it for free on YouTube. Get a YouTube free downloader, and then you can start downloading and burning your own. But if you would like, this is Eliyahu from Eliyahu Channel and Eagles Haven Ministry signing off to you. Thank you for watching us.